Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make Accra banana. This is like a really popular Cameroonian street food. It's really delicious and sweet. You're really going to need 2 to 3 ingredients. So that's cassava, bananas, salt, and a little bit of pepper and cilantro. So pretty much that's all you need. You don't need any sugar or anything else. So first you're going to start out by cutting up your cassava, and sometimes you can get some fresh cassava from the grocery store, but if you can't find it, you can always get frozen one. So just chop it up like you see me chopping up, and then blend it. So you can either use a blender to blend, or if you don't have a blender, you can use a food processor. I'm using a food processor. So pretty much I'm trying to blend it to get a semi-fine consistency. I don't want it to be super fine, right? So blend it for about a few minutes until you get a semi-fine consistency. So you still want it to be a little bit grainy when you're done with it, because if you make it too fine, then it's just not going to work out right for you when you make the final product. And when you're done blending it, you're going to then squeeze out the water from it. So one thing you can do is use a cheesecloth to squeeze out the water. If you don't have a cheesecloth to squeeze out the water, you can just use your hand and to squeeze out as much water from it as possible. And then when you're done, just put it in a bowl. So I use about 2 cups of cassava after squeezing out the water and whatnot. I measured, and it was about 2 cups of flour. It was about 2 cups of cassava. So that's really fresh cassava. And sorry, I'm in the background washing my dishes as that blender's going, because why not multitask, right? So yeah, pretty much watch it blend and blend and blend away. Alright, so I'm checking it again to see. It took me a bit to blend it in a food processor. If you have a regular blender, it's probably going to take you a shorter time. Also, you're welcome to add water if you're having a difficult time blending it. So if you are blending and it's really not working well for you, or it's not going too well, and you need to add water, go ahead and do so, because eventually you're going to squeeze the water out. What happens if you don't squeeze that water out? That means you're not going to put a lot of bananas in it, or maybe not at all, which means you won't be able to form the ball and then to fry it. So here I'm going to blend some banana. So I blended about 8 bananas. Again, I blended 8 bananas. What you want to do is let the banana really ripe, and then peel 8 bananas and put it in there. If you want more banana, you're always welcome to put more. But if you don't want more, there's no need for you to put a whole bunch of banana. And what I'm doing instead of putting sugar is banana. So instead of putting sugar, you're going to put bananas. When you make this, your house is going to smell so good. I can't even tell you. You have that smoky, really sweet smell of banana kind of really going in your house, and the aroma is really amazing. So yeah, just use some really ripe bananas if you want sweet and flavored food and good aroma to come through for you. So right now I'm squeezing the water out of the cassava. I did not have a cheesecloth, so I just used my hand. Sorry that I'm not showing you what I'm doing. So pretty much squeezing the water out again. And as you can see, that looks more like a doughy flour than a whole cassava. So there you go. That's what the end result should look like after you blend that thing. And yeah. And so here is the interesting part. So traditionally, you don't really add a lot of ingredients in this Accra banana. What you add is pretty much just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper if you want, but I'm changing up a little bit. I added some cilantro, and that really adds like a different flavor to it, which is really good if you taste it. You don't taste a lot of the cilantro because when you cook cilantro, you don't taste a lot of the cilantro because when you cook cilantro, the power is kind of softened. Again, I'm putting like a little quarter teaspoon of pepper. I blend my own pepper, so yeah. And then I'm putting a quarter teaspoon of salt, and then you're just mixing that really well. Make sure it's well combined. See that green goodness in it? Yeah, it tastes so good. Then after you're done, you add your banana. Of course, that should be the last thing that you add. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to take that back. You're going to add your bananas, and then you're going to add something else. I'm going to show you, just hang on tight. And this is what really changed up the recipe for me and makes everything works out. And in case you ever make a mistake while making this, it's really, really easy to course correct. And I'm going to show you how I course correct my Accra banana. So when you're done, you see there's still going to be some liquid in there. What I added, which I didn't show you, was a cup of gari. So I added a cup of gari, and I added that cup of gari because after I put in the banana, the dough was still really soft and soggy, and I couldn't really form the balls that you're really seeing me forming right now. So in order to counteract that sogginess, I added some gari. I added a cup of gari, and then just stir that in, and then boom, that's what you get. Some really, really good looking Accra banana in progress. Yeah, so you can use like a measuring cup to form the balls if you want it to be consistent. I use like a quarter of a cup to just scoop it up and then use my hand to form the balls. And if you don't really care for the shape or consistency, just use your hand and do however you want. And so I'm putting it in right now. So put on your oil and put oil in the pot, and then put it in high heat. When it's all the way hot, turn it down to medium heat and kind of just let it stay there for like about a minute before you put it in, so it doesn't burn, because you don't want it to burn. You want it to slowly cook. So you're going to slowly cook this about 8 to 10 minutes. Just slowly cook it. You want to make sure that cassava is completely cooked, because there's nothing more nasty than eating raw cassava, or cassava that's not all the way cooked. And also when you first put the Accra banana in the oil, don't stir it, because if you stir, you're going to unscramble the balls. So what you want to do is sort of just let that sit in the oil for about 2 minutes at least. Let it sit in the oil for about 2 minutes, and then you can stir it so it can come on top of the pan, and it can just be floating on top of the oil like you see right here. And after 5 minutes, just make sure you stir, making sure that everything every one of them is cooking well, and so on. It doesn't really take a lot of work to like cook it. Like, for example, if you're cooking puff, you have to always make sure you're rotating the right side. When you rotate it, it unrotates on its own. So Accra banana is not like that. It's pretty simple. And so see how, yeah, so pretty much done. When you, after 8 minutes, you open it up and you see how, yeah, that's done. And you take it out and let it rest before you eat. It's really tempting to just dig in, because it's so delicious. So yeah, there you go.